Now, the Dr. SHUZO MURAKAMI, the President Institution for the Built Environment and Carbon Neutral for SDGs, will deliver a keynote speech, the SDGs for Regional Revitalization driven by the public-private partnerships. May I start? Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the introduction. I am Murakami, and thank you very much for joining us today. And this is a keynote speech. And so in the beginning, I would like to talk about the overview of the regional revitalization SDGs. And especially the keyword is the public and the private partnership. And I have 3 points in my agenda. And the first one is about the government initiatives. And the second item is the cabinet, the initiatives, SDGs Future City, Public-Private Partnership Platform, and SDGs Finance. And the third item, we will talk about the future directions. These are the items on my agenda. So first, I will talk about the government initiatives. The Japanese initiatives on SDGs evaluated in the world like this. Out of 163 countries, we ranked 19th. So this is decent ranking. And we have the SDG goal-specific scores, and we are not doing well in gender equality. And we are doing well in number 11, the sustainable cities and communities. And in a cabinet, so we've been doing this forum for the past 14 years, and the step-by initiatives leads to the community development. That's what we are proud of. And here, this is a list of our initiatives and the review of what we are doing. In 2015, UN Sustainable Development Summit, the agenda was developed. Then, 2016, we established SDGs Promotion Headquarters, and in December, we created and formulated SDGs Implementation Guideline Principles. This is the foundation of our initiatives. In 2019, the SDGs Summit 2019 took place. Then, our initiatives were introduced here. In December 2021, we established the SDGs Action Plan 2022. So step by step, we took steps toward today, 2023. This is the guideline principles, and this is the extract from the principles. And the first item, that promote regional revitalization driven by the SDGs, then solve regional issues through public-private partnerships. Create autonomous virtual cycles through SDGs, regional revitalization finance, then accelerate initiative for achieving SDGs and promote excellent case studies like we do today, and promote intermunicipal partnerships. These are the items in guiding principles of the government. As introduced earlier, the previous administration had also the SDG implementation initiatives, and when we look at those for the Digital Garden City Nation, the Create Model project for achieving SDGs, promote private sector participation through public-private partnership platform, then promote SDGs, regional revitalization, and so on. So this is in line with the government principles. And by doing so, the solving regional social issues using the power of technology is the key and our focus. And when we talk about the regional revitalization, we have the second term now, and the first time started before the second term. And this is the objective for the second term. and create the communities where people can earn and work safely. And also create a new flow of people to local communities and marriage, childbirth, and childcare, and then live safely. So these are the community goals and the basic goals for the social issues. Then the new item in the second term is the communities where people can earn. This is also the economic goal as well. So how to revitalize the community and the economy is the key and the objective. So how we can create the communities where people can earn, and this is the model. And the vertical, this is profit, and the horizontal, this is social contribution, the plus and minus. And where the local governments sit, I think we are in the right bottom. We are doing this social contribution, and we are contributing the communities. And of course, we have positive in this area. However, when it comes to the earning and profit, we have to go beyond an upper area. So these are the proposals, the local government SDGs, together with the company SDGs. And we'd like to introduce the the power into the communities. And by doing so, we want to contribute to the society even greater. The regional economic vitalization and the solving of the social issues through the local government and the corporate partnerships. That's what we are doing in the current administration as a pillar of activities. In order to involve the private sector into SDGs, we have to clarify the benefits. The first, they're contributing to the establishment of a sustainable society, and this is leading to the solving the social issues and increase in the non-financial values, including brand governance and personnel. And the second part is the participating in the SDGs projects, and an enormous market is created. So this is the opportunity to be in this big market, and also the increase in the financial value. And the third point is the discovering the solving management issues. The comprehensive economic, social, and environmental initiatives based on the three layers: goals, targets, and indicators. So the private sector is working hard on this. And as a result, the discovery of new management issues from the goal and broad perspective is going to be the keys. And also another key is breakthroughs for solving issues based on the SDGs framework. So with these conditions, I hope that private sectors will be actively involved in the SDGs. So now the creation of autonomous virtuous cycles through the corporate SDGs and the financial SDGs. This is also an important part. The first, the regional companies and the regional institutions, financial institutions need to collaborate so that the major financial institutions can also help them to the companies or the regional financial institutions. And regional companies, through SDGs management, they can generate cash flow or the return and reinvest in the region so that the autonomous virtual cycles can be created. So that means that they create a cash flow through partnership between regional companies and regional financial institutions. And by doing so, we want to realize the communities where people can earn. So I just talked about the government initiatives. And next, I will talk about the Cabinet Office initiatives. The SDGs Future Cities. As you may know, we've done this for 5 years, and it's increasing, and now 154 cities in total. And this includes the specific cities and the wider, greater cities as well. And this certification can lead to the branding of the cities as well. And for selection, there are 2 selection stages. And first, the 30 cities selection, and for the top 10. And
So this is the overall evaluation of how they're introducing the SDG, and number two, how the model municipal SDGs model has been promoted or executed, and the overall goal is to promote all these new initiatives to come to their full potential or fruition. So we would like to set the peak, the pinnacle, to be at the highest possible height, altitude, so that the whole mountain would have a really big base. It's really important that we actually set this ambitious goal of how much anyone can actually become, and then by sharing the best practice as much as possible, that a whole community or the society will be boosted up. And we encourage all these different municipalities to be collaborating and partnershiping in their wider regions. So this is one case. Hokkaido, Kitami, Mie, Bie, Tsubetsu, all these towns are now closely knitted, forming a closely knitted community to be providing service, not only in their super micro regions, but to the whole regions. And so we do see all this big community. This is Kagawa Prefecture, and this is Sazame Dam. And then these municipalities are collaborating to manage the water level of the dam. And next part is this public-private sector partnership of platforms. And then I guess this is a very, very important main theme of today. And apologies for this noteworthy page, but a background of this partnership, if you'd like those regions to be earning revenues with their own capabilities, we really need to have the partnership and active participation of the private sectors. And we need to share the framework of SDGs and to all the directions, so that we can have the common language. We can facilitate the dialogues among all these different players, coming both from a public and a private sectors, and we can facilitate the interactions. And the benefit for municipality is that they can have access to various ideas that spawn out of all the corners around the nation, and also the ideation can happen at the same time as the budget securing, and they can reinforce the organizational, like the soft side of the running of the scheme by introducing the corporate cultures. And the benefit for the private sector is that they will be able to increase the brand image of their companies or their business, and also there is this horizontal collaboration, not just the vertical, and this is going to benefit their business conduct also, and they'll be able to accumulate in various information which would not be possible if they were just running their business by as a private individual entity. And we set the platform to be free open space to facilitate interactions, and the municipalities have this strength of gathering the information and presenting needs and the field that private sectors can exercise their capabilities, and then private sectors can provide extensive know-hows that's gathered in their business practice. And then this is how this community has been expanding exponentially. The number of private companies that's currently participating is 5,786, and then among that is 265. And we're going to only accelerate expanding this kind of collaboration. And I'd like to introduce two examples. And this is Ichinoseki City, Iwate Prefecture, support for children's cafeteria, so-called initiative through the use of the tax gathered from the Furusato tax payment. That the whole nation's people can donate their tax money to this municipalities' initiatives. This is a model that was established at the very early stage. This is another great success in a city of Nagano Prefecture, establishment of drone logistics service in the mountainous areas. So this helps all these people who are not who doesn't have a full access to the logistics network. This was conducted and executed at a very, very speedy manner as a private sector would. And so this is a recognition of excellent practices of a public-private partnership. The award give out itself is not the ultimate objective, but more through that to spread the best practices and knowledge. And we will have this another award ceremony this afternoon, and we do have this increase in number of applications coming in. And there is this great cycle established, and this cycle, continuous sustainable cycle, is really important. So recognition of all these initiatives is the beginning of the cycle. So local companies and local financial institutions are two main players, and this is the yellow part is the recognition of all these things. The number one, the local companies who are acting on the SDGs, and they are declaring those initiatives, and 52 local municipalities are registered and certified as a participant of this system. It's becoming more and more visible what's happening where and how. And then the local financial institutions are providing their financial means for the local companies to do that, and also they're running alongside with them to make the goals happen. And then so the ministry and then the minister actually acknowledges the contribution of those local financial institutions to be an active part of these initiatives. And so the award goes to both parties. And these are two best practices. Nichinan J credit usage, so monetization, utilizing the J credit, and this is a coordinating system with the partnership of the local government and the local financial institution. So that Nichinancho gets a J credit for the public-owned forests of theirs, and the J credit revenues will be used for the promotion of the forestry businesses and the preservation of their ecosystem. This is a very winning scenarios for all those angles, and this is a Nagano Prefecture registration system and the collaboration with the Weather Local Trust Banking and Financials. And then this is really a noble financial system that's really focused on the SDGs. Nagano has always been the pioneer of doing all these new things, and this registration system started back in 2019 before any prefectures. And so company business operators would register to their system, and that they would declare what they're going to achieve, and then they will have a checklist to satisfy for their initiatives. And that financial institution, the Weda Shinkin, would evaluate their execution on the checklist for business feasibilities, and then they do support financially of those initiatives. So next actions and next steps, we'd like to deepen our initiatives on SDGs. That's the whole focus of our next steps. This is the current state. This is a current status and the future challenges in introducing the SDGs. So we do have 58% of local municipalities in this nation already participating. And the 2024 fiscal year, we do have this 60% participation. This is a very, very high percentages, even if you compare all these other areas around the world. But then we'd like to keep supporting all those local municipalities, particularly those who are having difficulty running this kind of thing by themselves. And what will be really vital is training people. So the Cabinet Office is starting or has started from fiscal year 2022 this training program, and then it's going to be really focusing on small municipalities. And also we're going to be structurizing all these plans and frameworks so that everything will be visible for everybody. So logic model, which explains what's caused what and then how it helped. Bringing a concrete results, and also the impact evaluation criteria setting and the system implementation will be what we will do, and there will be a proposal template and a certification system, and so we're going to be furthering the support that we provide to the local municipalities.
And there are 7 items like this from 1 to 7, and we do mapping. Then for that, we need materiality and logical model setting the objectives and action plan, then impact evaluation and backcasting. And many municipalities and other entities, they are doing the areas from 1 to 2, but I would like them to focus on the logic model as well. That's going to be the pillar of the evolution. And this is the SDGs, the 3-layer structure that proposed by the United Nations. And on the other hand, the municipalities are creating the logic model and indicators and impact evaluation as SDGs initiatives. And we focus on creating the indicators. And from the global point of view, we would like the new municipality to come up with the ideas for the SDGs initiatives. And based on this, the logic models, so I'd like to explain a little bit more. And as you know, this is the logic model. This is for the achieving goals, and we have to have the logical cause effect. And we do input, implementation, and output and outcome. So this needs to be organized in a good manner. And from the long-term perspectives, we need to evaluate the outcomes and see the SDGs results. That's what we are talking to the municipalities, and to deepen the structure of SDGs initiative by local government and companies. And in order to have the impact evaluations, we have I'd like to explain some examples of this impact evaluations. And this is impact radar. And this United Nations Environment Program Financial Initiative. This is an organization which proposed SDGs, and then construct the SDGs from the perspective of the positive the impact caused by the business initiatives is important. So this is my last slide, but we are doing some new development initiatives, and yellow 2008 and blue 2011. So that's when we started this the international forum. In 2018, we evolved this SDGs into the SDGs of future cities. But we also have the blue and yellow at the same time for city and regional revitalization. Then in addition to this, we are looking to have the living alongside COVID-19 or new normal and a digital garden city nation, new kind of capitalism. So today we have 14th International Forum, and continuation has a power. So through this steps by step, the evolution, the cabinet office is evaluated for its cooperation for the evolution and contribution. Thank you very much for your attention.